So you want to play Street Fighter 6 on PS5 using your favorite controller? Well, not so fast, because if you don't have this, you might be in trouble. I'm NihongoGamer, and we're going to be talking about this today. It's the Wingman FGC. This is the device you're going to want if you need to plug your controller into a PS5 for something like Street Fighter 6. Basically, if you've got a controller that looks like this is the official PlayStation controller for the PS5, it's the DualSense, you don't need an adapter. Why? Because this is a PS5 controller, and this is a PS5 game. By the way, this was sent to me by Brook for the purposes of making this video, but they didn't ask me to say anything specific. In fact, they didn't really send me any information about the device itself. Now, before the PS5 came out, they actually said that all the officially licensed controllers, things like this is a Hori Fighting Edge. This is an officially licensed controller. A lot of the Quanba controllers that you know and love, the Razer Pantera is another one. All of those controllers should work no problem on PS5. And let's demonstrate that right now. If I move around with the D-pad, obviously I've got no trouble playing the game with my DualSense controller. But if we press pause and we switch over to the Hori Fighting Edge, even though this is a PS4 era controller, this is an officially licensed controller, and it should work. So, press this button over here, log in with my controller, and as you can see, press start, I can jump, I can move around, I can do attacks, basically mash a single button, which is basically how you'll win the game in Street Fighter 6. No problem. But there is a massive generation of players who are playing on unofficial controllers. Why? Well, I don't know what the process is to become officially licensed as a controller maker, but things like this, the Empress or the Snack Box or the FRS, or just like half of the controllers that I've shown you on this channel, most of them are running unofficial hardware on the inside, which means they're not going through the licensing process. Not a problem on the PS4, because we had this, the Brook Universal board, which was designed to work on PS4 without having any issues, even though it was not a licensed peripheral. Let's just show you what happens if I plug in this unlicensed controller into PlayStation 5 to play Street Fighter 6 using just a standard USB cable. Here we go. PS5 games can't be played using this current controller. So there you have it. It can't even get out of the pause menu because I'm using a PS4 controller, an unlicensed PS4 controller. Again, like I say, it's not actually out yet. I think pre-orders will begin next week, but this is called the Wingman FGC, and for the next year at least, maybe for the next 2 years, you should expect to see quite a lot of these. Unless they buy the PS5 board, the one with the PS5 compatible board built into it. A lot of people already bought these controllers over the past couple of years, and they don't want to have to buy a brand new controller or send it back for the upgrade process. If you get an adapter, what's amazing is that if you plug this in, it should make this controller not just compatible, but I can also use any of my USB controllers. So I don't have to upgrade the PCB in every single controller I've got. I can just get one of these, plug all of my controllers into it, and it should work. I'm going to unplug it. I'm now going to plug in the Brook Wingman FGC into the front, and then I'm going to plug the controller into the Wingman adapter. Press the home button. It's not telling me that it's not compatible with PS5. Let's press start. Hey, we're in! Alright, and I can actually move around, no problem. Alright, and let's just mash the buttons again. Brilliant. So as you can see, this is amazing. It is working like a charm. Just gonna run forward and do my one button combo. It should work eventually. There we go. Another controller we can try is this one that was sent to me. I've also got a video on this. It's got a D-pad like a pad controller, but it's got large buttons like an arcade stick. I actually don't even know what PCB's on the inside. I'm assuming there's a Brook board on the inside. Plugging my controller in, and if I press the PS home button, again, PS5 games can't be played using the current controller. But take the Wingman FGC, put it in between, plug this back in now with the adapter. Okay, and we're in. As you can see, now using this super DIY controller that was sent to me, I've already got back into the game, and now I'm back in the game playing with my custom controller. Brilliant. And I'm getting thrown. Time to mash the button again. Oh no. So as you can already see, the best thing about having a USB dongle is that I didn't have to upgrade 2 of my controllers. In fact, I didn't upgrade either of them. I just have this one dongle. I can switch between any of the controllers I have. And if I even build other controllers in the future and they've not got PS5 upgraded boards, all I need is to just use this one dongle. Alright, let's try one more thing. This is a PS4 DualShock 4 controller, and as far as I'm aware, this shouldn't work on a PS5 game. Press the home button and it says, can't use the DualShock 4 wireless controller to play PS5 games. Unbelievable, right? You can actually go out and you can buy a third-party controller only designed for PS4, and they all got a free upgrade to PS5. But the actual controller that is designed for the PS4, the Sony controller, is not compatible with a PS5 game. But now that we have this Brook Wingman FGC adapter, can we force the DualShock 4 to work? And there are many reasons why you may want to do this. You may just dislike the harder feel of the D-pad on the DualSense controller. You may dislike the triggers, you may dislike the placement, you may dislike the feel of the buttons. Let's plug the USB into the Wingman FGC. Maybe we need to unsynchronize it. Just hold down these 2 buttons for a little while. Press the button. USB mark. There's nothing that says I can't use it. I actually didn't, to be honest, I actually expected it to not work. I can play Street Fighter 6, the actual PS5 version of the game, using my DualShock 4, which is not supposed to work with PS5. This is amazing. Now, one thing I should point out about this adapter is that it is USB-A, and as you can see, it's plugged into the USB-A port on the front of my PS5, and if you don't remember what USB-A is, it's the slightly larger size. It's not USB-C. And on the front of a PS5, you've only got 2 ports. You've got a USB-A port and a USB-C port. If you have 2 people who want to use this adapter, or 2 people who want to plug into a PS5, you can either use a dongle adapter, so you'll have 2 dongles in a row, or you can go around to the back of the PS5 where you can actually find more USB-A ports. Let's just plug the Wingman FGC into the back here. Press the button. Yes! So the good news is that whether you're plugged into the front of the console or if you're plugged into the back of the console, looks like you're going to have absolutely no problem. By the way, it's not a very scientific test, but I don't feel any lag going into the USB port on the back. There's absolutely no reason why there would be, as far as I can tell. So there you have it, the Wingman FGC for the PS5. People are slowly realizing as they're showing up to these events that their controllers that look like this, so DIY controllers or controllers that are custom built like this, which are unofficial, they're amazing controllers and in many ways better than all of the official options, but you can't use them on a PS5, and the only way to do so was to upgrade, actually physically modify the PCB inside your controller and do it for every single controller you owned. But now we have the one-size-fits-all solution. So if your local doesn't have one, this is going to be the sort of thing that you want to carry around in your pocket. Thank you, Brook. This company is just saving the fighting game community over and over and over again. I feel like the community wouldn't even exist without this company. I feel like that's not even an exaggeration, and they definitely didn't tell me to say that. Anyway, that's all for today's video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, comment with the controller that you plan to use for Street Fighter 5, force of habit, for Street Fighter 6 on PS5, and like the video if you haven't done so already. Anyway, that's all I've got time for today. I've been NihongoGamer. I'll see you real soon.